Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now June 11th of 2025, and given that the Meghan Markle drama and backlash is only growing like a snowball as we speak, the longer that she keeps her overall viral video on social media, such as Instagram, it's only getting worse, not just for herself, but her entire team, and those over at Netflix that are affiliated with Meghan Markle. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle is for sure is that she is very narcissistic, self-absorbed, greedy, and most of all, insufferable. That's basically the best way to describe her. At this point in 2025, there's no doubt about that. Now, look, we all know ever since that she dropped that pregnancy viral video on Instagram, there are of course, multiple scenarios out there. There are multiple negative waves of backlash that are actually causing more issues, not just at Netflix, but also for her overall time within the film industry, as more studios are now no longer willing to actually deal with her or even negotiate with her for a potential cameo or a short role in a movie or television program. Now, this is where it gets very interesting, is that we know that at the same exact time, Meghan Markle is desperately trying to cling on to her time over at Netflix. She wants a contract renewal. It's exactly why she got very close to CEO Ted Sarandos. He is the one CEO, as opposed to Greg Peters, that actually is very supportive of Meghan Markle. Well, in recent days, it's been looking a little bit grim for Meghan Markle. Now, with the Meghan Markle drama only getting more intense over time, not just at Netflix, but also in the public eye, one major development now involves more to do with her recent behavior after posting her viral pregnancy video on social media and how it backfired on her image. A crucial update to this entire scenario now involves how Meghan Markle had a very intense argument with both CEO Greg Peters and CEO Ted Sarandos. There are two, by the way, in case you didn't know that, after she made a proposal that was denied. It turns out that in the most recent creative meeting for With Love Meghan Season 2 on their plans for reshoots, which are beginning in roughly 2 days, Meghan did the unthinkable by delivering a proposal to address the criticisms surrounding her viral pregnancy video post in hopes of reversing some of the damage, and to allow the public to, of course, better understand her. Not so shockingly, she made this proposal specifically to Ted Sarandos during the most recent creative meeting for With Love Meghan Season 2, and one surprising turn of events is that even Ted Sarandos, get this, shot down Meghan Markle's demands to not only address the criticism of her video on the show, but that she was also going to react to her own video and its reception on social media on a laptop while baking cakes in the kitchen to serve as a transition in the show between recipes. Now, this entire scene proposal that Meghan Markle made was something that she reportedly was proud of, and when she was shot down by Ted Sarandos, get this, the very CEO of Netflix that tends to support her way more than Greg, she shed tears during the meeting. This meeting over at Netflix was best described as one of the most awkward ones yet for Meghan Markle. The main reason why she shed tears when Ted Sarandos absolutely refused her idea to being, of course, the viral video into the show and actually using that via reshoots is that Meghan Markle believed that she had all the influence that she needed over Ted. Turns out that backlash was so actually immense from the viral video that even Ted Sarandos could not support anything that Markle was doing. This eventually got even worse, where Markle reportedly stormed out of the meeting at Netflix HQ, where the last plans for reshoots were put together for the next so-called season. And look, I say so-called season because in reality, this is just season 1 part 2. They just like to call it a season 2 to make it sound like that her show was all successful and it got renewed or picked up for a new season. Not the case at all. Now look, what's interesting about this is the fact that we have now Ted Sarandos. Let's just really make this ultimately clear. Ted Sarandos was, or is, still very supportive of Meghan Markle, but you're starting to see a slow turn of the tide within his own, self over at Netflix, and how he's beginning to realize that maybe it's not the best idea to just do whatever Meghan wants to do and to just give her the keys. Not gonna work this time around, right? Because Netflix, they have to save their overall image, they have to actually prepare for what's about to go down in the fall of this year. Again, they are still trying to get this thing out by early September and or late August, the earliest. And just before the fall debuts, that's when they want to drop this thing. Now, maybe later, but we'll talk more about that. Now, this all comes just weeks after Meghan lost her creative control and privileges over With Love Meghan, where it's now all in the hands of the board, executives, and producers, along with both Greg and Ted. And though Ted is still on Meghan's side, this was one proposal that he had to actually shoot down in order to save his image internally at Netflix HQ after nearly accepting everything that Meghan wanted in the past 7 months. And look, we know that Ted Sarandos got a very bad rep from doing that for the past 7 to 8 months. You know, allowing Meghan to do this and that while she had creative power. He could have stopped this a very long time ago. Heck, he could have fired her a long time ago if he really wanted to, because he does have, believe it or not, a lot of influence over the board of directors and what they actually believe is good or bad for the company. Now look, a new trailer is set to drop by this July as Netflix hired an entire new marketing team to handle the marketing campaign for season 2. To make matters worse for Meghan is that the marketing team that she handpicked previously were all fired from Netflix weeks ago. Meghan is best described to be, of course, fuming over these recent developments in the midst of her viral video backfiring on her time over at Netflix. Now look, the fact that she shed tears during this creative meeting and she stormed out of the meeting, and that's exactly why there's a lot of awkward, situations going on right now over at Netflix HQ. That's why it's a very awkward setting. Probably the most awkward setting in the entire film industry and the entire Hollywood bubble and everything else in between. The fact that you have someone like Meghan Markle that really gets so bent out of shape when someone says no to her, when she believed that, coming from Ted, everything was going to be a yes, goes to show you that she's nothing more than a child. And basically that's what it all boils down to. She does have that child mentality when she's an adult. She's a grown woman, right? She's in her 40s. She's over at Netflix, right? And she's trying to put a show together. And at the same exact time, all right, they also want to do something that's not going to create a worse wave of backlash than last time, right? And we all know it's going to be worse because of what was going on with the test screenings, what actually was going on with the leaks, with the story of this second season, again, season 1, part 2, and what's going on over there. So overall, I mean, this is a typical, reaction coming from Meghan Markle. It's really not all that shocking, but it is a little bit shocking coming from Ted Sarandos that he actually said no to her, that he actually refused Meghan Markle's demands, the fact that she wanted to not only bring up the criticism surrounding her viral pregnancy video onto the show, but that she also wanted a scene where she would be in the kitchen looking at her laptop, watching the video, looking through the comments while she's waiting for cakes to bake in the oven, is very, very odd and cringeworthy. I can only imagine how that would have actually went down in the actual show when it was all said and done and filmed and edited together. I think it would have looked very cringe. But overall, I would love to hear what everyone has to say about Ted Sarandos, Greg Peters, and how Meghan Markle got very emotional after getting shot down by Ted Sarandos. Good on him. I'm not really a supporter of him at all. I'm just saying that's one, good first step in the right direction. So I would like to hear what everyone has to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.